Guess what it's time for? Guess what it's time for?
Bwana.TV Q&A.
Bwana.TV Q&A.
Bwana.TV 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 Q&A.
Guess what it's time for? Guess what it's time for?
Bwana.TV Q&A.
Bwana.TV Q&A. Bwana.TV Q&A. Bwana.TV Q&A. Bwana.TV Q&A. Bwana.TV Q&A. Bwana.TV Q&A. Bwana.TV Q&A. Bwana.TV Q&A. Bwana.TV Q&A. Bwana.TV Q&A. Bwana.TV Q&A.
Bwana.TV Q&A. Bwana.TV Q&A.
Hello, this is Bwana from Bwana.TV. I'm still answering questions on live.bwana.tv. This question comes from Super Eddie. He's super. Super Eddie asks a very direct and simple question. What's the best netbook? I want to get one. So Super Eddie's in the market for a netbook. And he wants to know what the best one is. Now there's tons of choices. Let me just run down the choices really quick. The first choice is the people at MSI. They make great netbooks, notoriously known for their battery life and hard drive space. Then there's also Samsung. Samsung makes I think it's probably the highest rated netbook going. I think a lot of the netbook, well, I don't want to say highest rated because the opinions tend to differ on the web, but a lot of people tend to like the Samsung models. There's also Acer, there's also Asus, there's also HP, and there's also Dell. So the market is crowded as far as I can see. It usually didn't be this many people, but you know, big names like Asus and Acer and HP and Dell, when they get into it, you know, it's a hot market. They're affordable computers. I already did, and Lenovo. Thank you, Kohi. Lenovo is also in the market. So there's a lot of competition. But as I stated, and I know this is not going to be a popular opinion with a lot of people. As I stated when I did my HP 1000 review, that's the one I have. I have the HP Mini 1000. A lot of these netbooks have similar specs. Okay? So it really becomes a tight race, and you really have to prioritize what features are important to you. Okay? Generally, right now, most netbooks have similar processors. Most netbooks have similar memory configurations. Some have the newer ones, faster buses. Now they're coming out, but generally they're about the same. So memory and CPU are almost about the same. Form factor is the same as well. I mean, most of these start at 8-inch and work their way up to between 8 and 10 inches, which is really the definition of a netbook. So those three things are almost the same with everybody. The differences lie with hard drive configuration, peripheral ports, means extensibility, battery options, and look and feel, aesthetics, keyboard, screen, weight, all that stuff. So when you consider a netbook, those four things that I don't remember what I said, those four things, you should prioritize which ones are important to you. Do you need a lot of disk space on your netbook? Netbooks are generally built. They were generally built with, flash drives, small drives, 16 gigabyte drives. Was it 16 gigabyte? Yeah, 16 gigabyte flash drives. So if you're primarily a cloud computer, you don't need a lot of storage, right? You just need the OS and maybe a couple of programs. So if you fit in that model, you're not going to need a big disk. So some of these models offer bigger disk options, some don't. So that'll help you in your decision making. Also, keyboard and screen. A lot of these models offer a matte, some offer a glossy screen. Some have tight keyboards. If you don't care about keyboard, if you can work with a tiny keyboard, then you don't worry about that. Others, like the one I have, the HP Mini, probably has the best keyboard. That was important to me, so that helped me with my decision. Also, the battery life. Now, this is something that is very touchy right now. The MSI, I think, offers some of the best battery options out there. And if you want battery life, in the 5 to 6 hour range, you want to get a good amount of battery life, then you may want to look at MSI and see what they're offering, because their stuff comes standard. It comes standard with the MSI. When you buy the base model, you're going to get a very good battery. They're really good about that. Also, MSI is great with extensibility, USB ports, VGA ports, a dedicated port for a microphone and for a speaker. Now with my HP Mini, I sacrificed those things. I don't have a whole lot. I think I only have 2 USB ports. You have to buy an external VGA adapter. It's not very extensible, but I didn't need that stuff. So for me, the decision was different for you. So when you ask questions like, what is better? That's my general answer with all of those. You really have to weigh the things that are important to you, prioritize them, look at the options, who offers those things, who has the forte when it comes to disk space, who has the forte when it comes to extensibility, who has the forte when it comes to battery life, who has the forte when it comes to keyboard and screen. Weigh those things out, draw a chart, do a spreadsheet. You'll be surprised. You may end up buying something you didn't think you would buy, but in the end, I guarantee you'll be satisfied with the decision, because the things that are important to you will be on that machine and will be great. So, with that said, I hope that answered your question. Very general answer, very general guidelines, but I think it should apply to any computer purchase. Any technology purchase, you can apply that kind of thinking and you'll come out on top. All right, hope that answered your question. Who asked that question? I'm sorry. Was it Super Eddie? Sorry. Super Eddie, thank you for asking that question. I hope I answered it. But it's going to require some work on your part to do that research. All right, guys, take care.